Pinot Grigio and Pinot Gris, two faces of the same grape. Pinot Grigio and Pinot Gris are two names for the same grape, but the wines they produce can feel like completely different experiences. One is light, crisp, and refreshing. The other is rich, textured, and complex. Same grape, two personalities. That's what makes this varietal so interesting, and sometimes confusing. So let's talk about what you'll see, smell, taste, and feel when you drink Pinot Grigio or Pinot Gris, and how the region determines which version you'll get. When you pour Pinot Grigio, the color is usually pale straw, sometimes with a hint of green. It looks light and refreshing, and that's exactly what you can expect on the palate. Pinot Gris, especially from Alsace, tends to be deeper in color, golden yellow, sometimes with copper or pinkish hues. That extra richness and appearance often signals a fuller, more concentrated wine. Now let's smell the wine. With Pinot Grigio, aromas are delicate and clean. Expect fresh notes of green apple, pear, lemon, and lime. You might also notice subtle floral hints, like white flowers or a touch of almond. Everything feels crisp, subtle, and understated. Pinot Gris, by contrast, is more aromatic and expressive. You'll often smell ripe peach, apricot, or honey, along with spicy notes like ginger or clove. Floral tones can be more intense, like honeysuckle, and some wines show a smoky or mineral edge. With age, Pinot Gris can develop honeyed, nutty aromas that add even more depth. Take a sip, and you'll really feel the difference. Pinot Grigio is light-bodied, high in acidity, and refreshingly crisp. The flavors are simple but satisfying: lemon, lime, green apple, and pear. It feels clean and easy, often finishing with a slight mineral or almond note. Pinot Grigio is a wine that refreshes without demanding too much attention, perfect for casual sipping or pairing with light meals. Pinot Gris, on the other hand, is fuller-bodied, with lower acidity and more texture. The flavors lean toward ripe stone fruit, peach, apricot, or nectarine, alongside honey, spice, and sometimes a touch of sweetness. It feels richer and rounder on the palate, with a longer finish. Some Alsatian Pinot Gris can even have a slightly oily texture, which makes them feel lush and layered. So why the difference? It comes down to region and winemaking style. In Italy, especially in the northeast regions of Veneto and Friuli, the grape is called Pinot Grigio. The Italian style is all about freshness and simplicity. These wines are crisp, dry, and easy drinking, with citrus and green apple flavors. They're made for casual enjoyment, often at affordable prices, and they've become some of the most popular white wines in the world. If you like clean, refreshing wines with subtle flavors, Italian Pinot Grigio is your match. In Alsace, France, the grape is called Pinot Gris. Here, the wines are richer, more aromatic, and more complex. Expect ripe peach, apricot, honey, and spice, with a fuller body and sometimes a hint of residual sweetness. Alsatian Pinot Gris can age beautifully, developing honeyed, nutty, and smoky flavors over time. If you like wines with more depth and character, Alsace is the place to look. In Oregon, United States, winemakers use both styles. Some produce crisp, citrus-driven wines labeled Pinot Grigio, while others make richer, fuller-bodied wines in the Pinot Gris style. Oregon Pinot Gris often falls somewhere in between, fruitier than Italian Pinot Grigio, but fresher than Alsatian Pinot Gris. Other regions, like Germany and New Zealand, also produce versions of this grape. In Germany, it's called Grauburgunder or Ruländer, with styles ranging from dry and crisp to sweet and lush. In New Zealand, it often shows bright fruit and lively acidity, closer to the Pinot Gris style, but with more freshness. So who will enjoy Pinot Grigio or Pinot Gris? If you like wines that are crisp, light, and refreshing, something you can sip on a hot day or pair with light meals, go for Pinot Grigio. It's perfect for drinkers who enjoy clean flavors like lemon, lime, and green apple. If you like wines that are richer, more aromatic, and layered with fruit and spice, Pinot Gris is for you. It's better suited for those who enjoy stone fruit, honey, and a little more texture in their wine. Let's talk food. Pinot Grigio's crisp acidity makes it a natural with seafood. Think shrimp, clams, or grilled fish. It also pairs well with light pasta dishes, salads, and fresh cheeses like mozzarella or ricotta. Basically, if the food is light and fresh, Pinot Grigio is a safe choice. Pinot Gris, with its fuller body and richer flavors, pairs with heartier dishes. Try it with roast chicken, pork, or creamy pastas. It also works beautifully with Asian cuisine, especially dishes with ginger or mild spice. Off-dry versions can balance sweet and sour flavors or lightly spicy foods. And if you're serving cheese, Pinot Gris pairs well with brie, camembert, or aged Gouda. Spotting Pinot Grigio or Pinot Gris in a blind tasting comes down to style. If the wine is pale, crisp, and citrus-driven, it's probably Pinot Grigio. If it's golden, aromatic, and full of stone fruit and spice, it's likely Pinot Gris. Compared to Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Grigio is less herbal and more neutral. Compared to Chardonnay, Pinot Gris is more aromatic and often slightly sweeter. When shopping, keep the names in mind. Pinot Grigio usually signals the lighter, fresher Italian style. Pinot Gris usually signals the richer, more aromatic style, especially from Alsace. Oregon wines may fall anywhere between the two, so check the label for clues. If you want crisp and easy, reach for Pinot Grigio. If you want rich and layered, grab Pinot Gris. Here's the takeaway. Pinot Grigio and Pinot Gris are two sides of the same coin. Expect citrus, green apple, and crisp refreshment from Pinot Grigio. Expect stone fruit, honey, and spice from Pinot Gris. The grape adapts to its region and style, giving you options for every taste and occasion. So the next time you pour a glass, look at the color. Smell the fruit, citrus and apple for Pinot Grigio, peach and honey for Pinot Gris. Taste the difference in body and texture. Feel the crispness of one, the richness of the other. That's Pinot Grigio and Pinot Gris, two faces of the same grape, ready to match your mood and your meal.